Final question that was sent in early. I wouldn't be surprised if some other people ask about this. Scott Splyler, pop culture fan, asks, and his was actually kind of a longer version of it than this. What do you think of the sexual assaults controversy surrounding Andor Season 2? Now, if you haven't started watching Andor Season 2 yet, this isn't really a spoiler for the season, except to say that this is something that happens in it. But it's not like you hear this and like I'm giving some plot point away. Essentially, an Imperial officer tries to sexually assault a character in the show. So it's Imperial being evil against someone. One more example of Imperials are evil and things like that. But a lot of people saw this, not a small number of people saw this, and their immediate reaction is, why are we adding grape? You know what I mean? Into Star Wars. That has no place in Star Wars. And to that group, that a lot of people in that category already kind of felt like Andor is too detached from what Star Wars has traditionally been, which I think is pretty fair. As a fan of Andor, it's fair to say, someone says, I show up to Star Wars for laser swords, the Force, creatures, droids, a fairly, the classic hero's journey and people discovering their hidden potential and they're part of this grander saga. And you watch Andor, there's not a lot of creatures, there's not nearly as many aliens. I guess all of them are aliens, but they look weird and they're creature types. There are some droids, but not as many. No laser swords, no Force, no space wizards. And not that there isn't some version of a hero's journey with what's going on with Andor, but it's not like an archetypical version of it, like with Luke Skywalker, that is this overt, blatantly following, in the obvious sense, the hero's journey. It's a very political show. It's for grown-ups. It's a dense exploration of tyranny and oppression that's meant to be thematically rich. It's a slow burn. It requires patience from the audience. It's very different, and that's fair. And adding sexual assault into that, it takes it kind of about as far as you can go until we're doing, like stand-ins for concentration camps, Nazi concentration camps or something like that's about as far as you can go of no, we're doing a very mature show that we're going to show all the ways in which people with unrestrained power and no accountability for their evil, where people have nowhere to turn to fight back oppression, then evil just emerges and it shows up in all the different ways. How far are we going with that? We've got a grape sequence in Star Wars now. So what do I think of that? I personally, I didn't have any issue with it. I was like, oh, wow, we're going there. It never occurred to me that would be as controversial for a lot of people as it was. It didn't cross my mind that people would be like, this has no place in, my brain didn't go there at all. Because to me, it was the next step in the show that I was watching. Andor at no point in time felt to me like a show for my kids. I never even tried to get my kids to watch it. Like, when they re-released Revenge of the Sith this weekend, back in theaters, it's about to make a ton of money. It's about to be the biggest opening weekend for a re-release of all time, is what the number that I heard, which I'm not, if that's what I heard, the number I saw. I'm not quite sure if that sounds about right, or if maybe, because I recall A New Hope, Star Wars in 1997, the special edition opening bigger than this, but I saw a tweet that said that. Maybe it was biggest opening day. I'm not sure. When I said, you want to go see Revenge of the Sith? Yes, I do. He said immediately wanted to go see it. And he's seen it in the theater before. A lot of you guys have never seen it. He saw it in the theater last summer. We did a prequel marathon at a theater. We saw 3 of them in the theater. Less than a year ago, he saw it and he still wanted to see it again. So he's that big of a Star Wars fan. No interest in Andor. And I've never pushed him because it's not for him, it's for me. That seems pretty obvious to me, that Andor is meant to be, all right, we've got our Disney Plus show that's about young Jedis, that's for little kids. We've got Mandalorian for all ages, and some of these other ones for all ages. And then we've got, Skeleton Crew leans a little young, and then we've got Andor, which is just for grown-ups. And if we're going to make one for grown-ups, let's push some boundaries. Let's play this out fully. That's the way I interpret it. That was my thoughts and feelings on it. I didn't think any of it at all, that the idea of adding grape into Star Wars in the context of Andor made sense. If they did it in The Mandalorian, I'd be like, dude, I'm watching this with my kids. They did it in Skeleton Crew. Like, what is going on here? But they did it in Andor. And they did it in the second season, where by this far into it, I feel like you know what show you're watching. And Star Wars has always been dark. In Revenge of the Sith, the movie I took my little kid to, teenager now, not little kid anymore, teenager to, there's a sequence of our hero slaughtering children. That's like a important plot point that's not subtle or anything. It's like he killed a bunch of kids. And there's all limbs cut off. There's a lot of things. Now, heading in the direction of sex, that is not the direction Star Wars has leaned into very much. So I get it in the one sense. It is going further. But they did it on Andor. They didn't do it at the beginning of the first season. They did it at the beginning of the second season, as we know what that show is and who that show is for. So I don't fully get the controversy, really. In particular, like some of the takes have just kind of been really bizarre. Of things to criticize about the kickoff to Andor, I had my own criticisms. That one never crossed my mind. Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.